Our great trainers. Maybe a little bit about that first flight now, because it's an amazing result. As Maciek mentioned, 10 minutes and how many pigeons?
72.
72 competitors, because that's what we call our pigeons. Now maybe a little bit about this flight, the first one of the season.
It is known, even if the pigeons are prepared, a lot of work is done. Each of the breeders is still unsure whether the work done will bring a result. Everyone has some stress, everyone experiences, we also experience it, but the first flight is only the first flight. There are 12 more ahead of us. And it's important to start well, but it's even more important to finish well. We managed to achieve the best result in Category A, but due to the fact that Category A is only at the beginning, we want to fly the whole season. So from the first to the last flight, and our work is related to it. We do everything to fly optimally all season long. We did it that year, we flew smoothly. At the time we introduced Animus-X, there are few of these resources, but they are the most needed resources that we are using for reconstruction. We achieved our best result. I hope we are going in the right direction and more flights, more challenges ahead of us. I would like to add because Maniek is my best friend from the time of my studies, which is the best period of my youth. Maniek appeared because Maniek has knowledge typically about nutritional training. Arek works. It is known that in order to create good nutrients, you need to have knowledge in this field. Maniek shyly mentions an advertisement. I will only say this. You have to speak out loud about what is good. We really don't have to be ashamed of our pigeons, we don't have to be ashamed of our feeders. We have worked for our brand in this sport for 10 years. We will never talk about something that is not given in the breeding or something that does not work. Simply in terms of marketing, we cannot afford it, because we cannot make such numbers. These nutrients were also created in my head during some years. Breeders, listen up. The prices could have been much higher. I asked Maniek that if our cooperation was to look like this, then we should serve as a breeder in Poland. Prices, I believe that Maniek did quite good compared to Western companies. Because we all know how much, for example, a can of protein from a reputable company or probiotics costs. Well, here is the set. I think, as Arek said, it meets our basic needs. We, too, once started with 3 shelves of funds, then came reflection. I didn't know our first season anymore. At one point Arek said I don't know what to give it to, man, whether I should put it on water or on the air, because there were no days a week. This is how it was with us. But there was reflection, we switched to our own resources, which the Animus-X group later produced, i.e. Mariusz. These measures are working for us, what can we say? Because it is known that there is a lot of these funds on the market. Dear friends, we do not encourage you there, everyone should make their own decision, this is not some intrusive advertisement. You can see that we are flying in the 6th season with an efficiency above 60%, in these 6 seasons we do not fall below the 6th place in Poland. I believe that all the power lies in the team. If the team is strong, the units that will stand out and have better motor skills have a chance to represent the country, Europe. We already have some of these representatives in the country, there are a dozen or so representatives of the country over the course of 10 years. But where am I going? We stopped disturbing the pigeons. I believe that the most important thing in sport is the metabolism of the competitor or the pigeon. We base these nutrients here. These pigeons know these nutrients in breeding, these pigeons later, if they get these nutrients during flights, nothing will hurt them. That is why I believe that we stopped disturbing them, we stopped pouring them into this trough, no one knows what. And our knowledge of the conditioner has also increased. Because we then give these nutrients and help our pigeons when it is needed, not because it is Monday, Tuesday or Friday. We told you about these conditioners, there are a lot of videos, you can watch it. I believe that everything starts with breeding, we've talked about that before. We base breeding on protein, I believe that a super protein for breeding and flights. We also use this protein in the season, there is no other protein. This is a super protein, whey protein, a great building material for young pigeons. Protein and vitamin C, they also build collagen, rebuild muscles. We also use the same protein for post-flotation reconstruction. Vitamin C, this vitamin, I've also talked a lot about young and breeding pigeons, this is the so-called vigor vitamin, and we use it in breeding. Then, vitamin C alone appears to fight lactate, with the popular lactic acid, and it is known that the lower the leaven, or the faster you manage to break this sourdough, better sports results and better training. The bottles are nicer, we changed the look, they used to be uglier. This is our great mannequin and this is our great mannequin sport. What can I say, the forerunner of this sport is me. And here Marcin, in turn, also has a lot of knowledge about nutrients and supplementation. We went on and eliminated. Practically a super maniaca sport, it is a great canteen. And in a super maniaca sport we made an insert. We cut off the amino acids that are responsible for molting to eliminate this molting effect. Although there was no such effect even when it comes to administering this agent. And we highlighted the amino acids that are responsible for energy, that is, we have created 70% of this agent based on the same amino acid. We have highlighted the energy fractions that will allow us to stop the molting more and emphasize the energy. Turbocharging is a new measure invented by Maniac and Marcin. This is nothing but creatine fractions. It is a creatine-based agent. Creatine has always been a mystery. We will say honestly, we have tried different creatine products, different creatine fractions, whoever is oriented there knows more or less what's going on. We also used creatine for reconstruction in this sport. We know there are creatine-based cultures that flew, we won't say the names. This is a mystery, but who knows who flew on creatine, these results were made. Only creatine in general, when it comes to purely human creatine, must also be used wisely. For us, this turbocharging is a creatine fraction that was made for pigeons. We believe that this is a great measure that has been made into the product of Superman sport. Amino acids that are emphasized, energetic, combined with turbocharging, i.e. the creatine fraction, are great, and we believe that it will give a great effect. Pre-boot boost effect and panic restoration effect. It is mainly about the muscles and energy. We still use the oils we talked about earlier. We believe there would be no results without them. There are two critical moments in breeding. I mean, we can apply it to life. Everyone has two critical moments in life. When a baby is born, you know you don't get enough sleep, and so on. And here it is similar on the loft. The pigeons are feeding, the pigeons have to be in top shape, they have to be healthy and we have to help them a little bit with this because they are athletes. It's not that we leave them on their own. They also have to get a little help to make the result better. And here the pigeons also have a second stage in their life, like molting. This is a very strong energy expenditure, a very strong health expenditure. If these feathers, or their movement apparatus, are not reproduced at the highest level, if these pigeons do not plow very well, then we have nothing to think about the result. This dart in general in a healthy feathered pigeon looks completely different. It works completely differently than the so-called stiff dart. We, as young boys, did not see it or noticed it, but those seconds are in these elements, these minutes are there. Something Alrek would you add to this? I don't think so.
It's hard to add anything to your contribution at all.
Look. There's also turbo teddy bear electrolyte there. It's practically a few measures that we use in breeding throughout the year. We fly the young one, we fly the old one, and I think the most important thing is that we just don't disturb the pigeon's metabolism. What is a violation of metabolism? If there is simply a violation of metabolism, it is most often associated with poisoning. So we introduce a new measure, introduce a measure that duplicates another measure, most often it becomes dehydrated, poisoned, and then this effort range of the pigeon, instead of helping it, harms it. And we did it too, we flew on many means, which doubled each other. Then there was a time of reflection in winter. Summary. Look, we made all the mistakes we could have made. We didn't go to someone, we didn't get knowledge, and we didn't rely on it. We only used our tippers for 3 years, we have some experience with it, and I think that this is how it should look like in every farm. This is where our thinking comes from, and I believe that our thinking is good, because we improve our racing results from year to year. We are not based on any low ones, we are flying on the basis of 2,200 before, now it was probably record-breaking, around 2,700, right?
Yes, about 2,700.
Well, we owe the 2,700 to the work of the entire branch.